It's not uncommon for a young girl to dream about her future wedding day. The beautiful dress, the jewelry, the flowers, the venue, and walking down the aisle to be handed away to the man of her dreams. Now for me, when I was a young girl, I did used to think about my future wedding day, but I never could quite picture exactly what I wanted that day to look like. And perhaps that was a blessing, as my actual reality on my wedding day wasn't quite what any young girl would dream. A few months before my wedding, I didn't have a wedding dress, nor did I have the physical, mental, or emotional capacity to do anything about it. My family lived across the country from me. I had been too sick for too long to have any real close girlfriends to go shopping with me. And so, my soon-to-be husband called up the wedding consignment store, set up an appointment, loaded me in the car, and off we went to find me a wedding dress. We were greeted by a very confused older woman. She asked, "Are you sure you want your fiance to watch you try on wedding dresses?" To which I replied simply, "Yes, I'm sure." And so we went home that day with a wedding dress. Now for the actual wedding day, I had to make choices. Choices that I never thought I would actually have to make. A few months before the wedding, I decided that I wanted one thing more than anything else, and that was to dance at the end of the night with all of the people there that I loved so much. So I warned my fiance and I told him that I was going to dance myself sick. And that is exactly what I did. Our wedding night was treacherous and our honeymoon was miserable. I was so sick. I was in bed. I was almost passing out multiple times. I was being wheeled around in a wheelchair. I did get to make choices, but I couldn't choose everything. My life has become a series of limited choices. When I was fit and healthy, I never could have imagined that I would have to choose between going to the grocery store, making dinner, doing the dishes, folding the laundry, or taking a shower, and I would only be able to accomplish one of those things in an entire day. I never imagined that I would have to give up all of my hobbies that brought me so much fulfillment and so much joy. I again was faced with choices. I could choose to give up. I could choose to be depressed, and I could choose to soak my pillow in my tears. Or I could choose to become a woman who could adapt to her reality regardless of the circumstances. I never imagined that my days of traveling the world and being adventurous and going camping and being outdoors would come to an end, as even a short car ride can put me back into bed for the rest of the day. I never imagined that after spending so many years dedicating all of my time and my hard work to becoming a pharmacist, that I would become so restricted in my job functionality that I would have to start over. I would have to find a way to be able to work from home. Now, I always imagined that one day I would be able to build and create my own future family. That I would have kids and we'd be able to run around and play games and go on adventures. We'd be able to dance around the house. I was so excited. But I never imagined that I would be faced with a choice. between my future family and my own health? Can I even stop my medications to be able to try to have a child? Will I flare and lose that child? Will I become so sick that I won't even be able to work? What if I actually am successful at bringing a child into this world? How am I even supposed to take care of it when I can barely even take care of myself? How will I meet their needs? How will I get enough sleep so that I'm not sick every single day of my life? Will I even be able to hold them in my arms or rock them to sleep at night? Not too long, I had a friend who made a comment that was quite perplexing. She said that if everyone took all of their greatest struggles and their greatest challenges and threw them into one big pile and had the option to either trade for something else or to take back their own, that we would all likely take back our own. Now, the tears flow freely to even think about willingly taking back my own struggles. But I really can't imagine willingly taking someone's cancer or willingly losing a spouse or a parent or a child or a sibling. I can't imagine taking on someone's mental health issues, as I can't even comprehend the complexity of that reality. Even through the tears, I would choose to take back my own struggles. They have molded me into the woman that I am. I will struggle with this the rest of my life, but it's my struggle, and it's a part of me. The more time I've spent somewhat isolated in my pain and in my fatigue, I've really come to realize that we're not all that different. We all have struggles, and we all have pain. We all have mountains to climb, and we all have a story. But ultimately, we all have the ability to make choices. Now, I can never really express or explain to you the gravity of my new life. But this is my story. And these are my choices. I hope that you will be willing to embrace your own story, and that you will be able to embrace it and make it a life worth living, regardless of your circumstances. Because, after all, we don't have to focus on what's wrong with us when we can choose to embrace what's right with us.